Sri Lanka continues to erupt in chaos. A state of emergency has now been imposed by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe in his role as acting president, after President Rajapaksa fled the country. A curfew has also been imposed in the western province. Thousands of protesters took to the streets of the country's capital Colombo and stormed the Sri Lankan Prime Minister's office. Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa flew to the Maldives early on Wednesday as massive protests continue in Colombo. He was received by the Maldivian government representatives at the airport. As protests intensified in Colombo, security forces were seen using tear gas shells and water cannons to disperse the crowd when they tried to enter Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe's home. More violence is feared in Sri Lanka as left-back protesters are expected to mount more pressure to bring about a political change. Protesters have been angry over several tumultuous months of economic and political crisis.
We are in front of the protesters who are now marching towards the parliament. So after the massive protest which happened at the president's house, when they managed to capture the president's house, they later moved to the prime minister's house. The personal residence of the prime minister was also captured by these individuals, and now is the time for the people of Sri Lanka, those protesters who are in large number, to actually move towards the parliament, because that is the place which will finally decide that who is gonna be swearing in as the new president of Sri Lanka.
Reports claim that President Rajapaksa's younger brother and former finance minister Basil Rajapaksa has also left the country. Anti-government protesters blame the Rajapaksas for mishandling the island nation's economy.
One of the branches and Prime Minister Wickremesinghe has been working out of here, and they want him to also resign along with the president, because otherwise, according to our constitution, when the president resigns, the prime minister becomes interim or acting president. The barriers have been breached, and the protesters have now gone towards the entrance, but they have moved special forces, armed army troops just moved in through the road, and they have deployed themselves inside. So we certainly hope that there will not be weapons used against unarmed protesters, because that will be a gross violation of law.
He left the country without signing his resignation. The speaker and the whole country hope that he would, send his resignation properly, so that according to the constitution, the prime minister can be the interim president, and within next week's time, we can elect president.
Meanwhile, the Indian High Commission in Sri Lanka today dismissed reports claiming that India had helped President Rajapaksa and his brother Basil flee. According to reports, Rajapaksa had agreed to step down under pressure, though Sri Lanka's parliamentary speaker is yet to receive the president's resignation letter. As per the constitution of Sri Lanka, after President Gotabaya resigns, the Prime Minister is sworn in as interim president until Parliament elects a candidate from among its members. But Ranil Wickremesinghe had tweeted on July 9th that he would resign as PM to make way for an all-party government.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.